Yep, we're back. All right, so we are in the building at 3:30 in the morning. I don't even stream this late, but this clown Sebastian insists that I do. So I'm about to go ahead and go over all of the buffoonery that Sebastian is talking about. He's still going back and forth with this bullcrap interactive stages stuff, fake interactive stages, and all this stuff. I thought I already put you in the coffin and buried your ass alive after I choke slammed you and tombstone power drive your ass in my last live, and then put you under the damn ground like Paul Barrett and Undertaker and Kane. But you somehow got out of that, and now you back at it with the same shit. And that's real talk because I'm chilling. Let me see. Can you see this? Because I'm chilling on my fallback or whatever. And as y'all can see in the live, these are the comments of your man Sebastian here. I'm just chilling in the Discord, and your man says, this was removed. The latest lives you left up are ones where you attacked me and used wrong arguments, talk about Eichmann Go and Mugen stage interactivity at 11:06 p.m. East Coast time, United States. As you can see, I'm not even talking to the bull Sebastian. Where did he come from? How did he even come out and even do anything or say anything? Like, nobody was even talking to you, Sebastian. I didn't even know you was even in that Discord. Like, how did you get there? Who gave you the link to get there? I'm scrolling up. You see, nobody is. I'm not talking to Sebastian at all. I don't even know if he's even there. Me and Xances and everybody is just talking about Mugen characters. I don't know how he even emerged in the first place. Now you try and brush some shit off, talking about I'm about to go to bed, I'm going to bed happy, and nobody was even, niggas wasn't even thinking even about you. Like, what the hell? You trying to make it seem like somebody is bothering you or not understanding something when nobody was even conversating with you. You ain't even get permission to ask somebody if they even want to talk to your ass in the first place. This was removed. The latest lives you left were you attacking me and using wrong arguments about stage interactivity. Take you and your stage activity interactivity back to your Discord and have fun, nigga. If you on here completing stuff, then that's what's up. Nobody cares that you doing that, dude. Whatever you claim to be doing with the engine, nobody cares because it's nothing extraordinary anyway. It's just you flim flamming with a bunch of old ass characters that came out 50 years ago on your channel. Only person that's entertained by that shit is you and your friends. That's where he started responding at. Then he posts this video Would you try and get some views or some clout on your video that's nobody watched? Let me see. Let me just click on it to see who watched this shit. Who even watched this, man? 367 people watched you explain stage interactives for Eichmann Go. Bullshit ass, garbage ass thumbnail. Bootleg ass fonts that you stole off a damn Windows XP computer, nigga. 367 views. Nobody watched this. Nobody cares about this. As you can see, niggas that's watching it don't even appreciate what you're saying. They don't even buy. Don't nobody even buy what you're talking about in this. Like, what the hell? You insisting niggas go read where people saying sad to see that Eichmann is still lacking so many features to make this complete. What if I want to make a platformer and my boss type character to spawn minions? Or what if I want my boss type character to have full control of the stage? Things such as several background music changes. Eichmann Go only supports 2 or 3. But hey, at least we now have something. Nobody is even happy about this dumb shit. Nobody's watching this. It's childish. He's exactly right. It's 2023. Don't nobody want to see you splashing around on stages with little ass water effects in 2023. Like, what the hell? Street Fighter 6 is about to come out. Tekken 8 about to come out. Ain't nobody thinking about no damn Eichmann Go. That don't even make sense. What is that? Eichmann Go. It don't even sound right. Eichmann Go where? To do what? For what? And how come? Why? Eichmann is nothing but a damn Mugen hybrid. That's what it is. If Mugen never existed, you would never see Eichmann. Eichmann is just dick eating off Mugen because the dudes that was messing around with Mugen at the time was limited in what they was trying to do. They couldn't do anything, so they hacked into the engine, took all of the assets out of the Mugen engine, and then made a hybridized program out of it called Eichmann Go. Now let me further prove that real quick. Let me see. I just deleted that shit off my PC right before I went live. I just want to look at the files for this. Yeah, that's my man Beck. Sign on my screensaver. Shin Beck. For anybody that don't know, that's Shin Beck right there. But what the hell? Where is this Mugen at? This Eichmann stuff. I gotta guess on which folder it was in. Folder 10? Nah. 5, 8, 9? Was it in 9? Nope. Okay, 7. Okay. So this is how your precious Eichmann looks. It looks like this. You click on it. It's Eichmann, but it still says Mugen 1. It still says Mugen 1. So you can see where it ripped the assets directly from the source that it comes from. Let's zoom in on that because people probably can't see that. This is Eichmann, right? So why does it still say Mugen 1 for? Why is it not using its own resources? And why is it not thriving on its own? That's what I'm trying to figure out. It's even using the same work files that Mugen used. Like, if this is its own engine, it's not a hack, it's some revolutionary new BS. Why does it say Mugen 1 here? And why is it the same exact files in here that's in Mugen, in the Mugen engine? So let's go to an actual Mugen engine. We saw what Eichmann was. Where is it at? Where's my work joint at? And then we're going to continue with the thrashing of Sebastian on his idiocracy here. Okay, 3v3 Mugen. Work files. You click on the data folder. You see Mugen 1, which is the main Mugen folder for this. For the new 1.1 update, 1.0. It runs off of Mugen 1. This is all of the assets. This is the main folder. So, as you can see here, it's a ripoff. Hybrid is a more sensible term, but if you want to stop playing games and cut to the chase, it's just a ripoff. It's a knockoff. It's a bootleg ass Mugen. That's all it is. If it's so great, why is it not its own engine like Unity or Unreal or something like that? Those things are not related to the Mugen engine at all. They are their own things. Even OpenBOR is its own thing. It's not associated with Mugen or ElectByte at all. They're doing their own thing, using their own tools, using their own brain power, using their own original ideas to make things work. But unlike this piece of shit ass Eichmann shit that don't even work, this is why. Because you're too busy stealing assets from another engine. Because when you was using the Mugen engine at the time, the shit wasn't working for you. So you tried to steal all of the assets out of it and put it inside of another program thinking it's going to work better. And the shit is still trash. And that leads us to your man Sebastian just jumping in dick riding for no reason. That's where that led to. But let's see what somebody said. But yeah. Come on, Charger. Don't draw. Yeah, so this dude Sebastian comes in talking about some I attacked you in a video. Nigga, I didn't attack you. I commented on your video that you publicly posted on YouTube talking about something what the Mugen engine can't do, but Eichmann can do. You sound like a low ass girl. You sound like a 9-year-old kid. Talking about ha Eichmann can do this and Mugen can't. Like he's a low ass kid. But let's look at you. Let's see how you look. Let's see how you look, man.
Part 1, like Interactives 101. Welcome to the first video in the series. No true lesson is complete without a proper introduction of the subject at hand. In this case, interactive stages. So let's get into the history of this feature. Mugen's fake interactive stages. The first aspect we need to account for regarding the engine is that it's in pieces and creation.
We're going to mute him because my internet went out. Wow. Hold on, am I still streaming? Oh no, I'm still good internet wise. But no, okay, let's carry on. I thought my internet went out. But yeah, so this is how your man Sebastian looks. So he's clearly not a kid. So if you're not a kid and that's really you, why are you saying, haha, Eichmann can do this and Mugen can't? Like, that's for kids. And I addressed you and showed you that it could, and you respond by saying that I'm attacking you. If that's an attack, then yeah, you are being attacked because you're sitting up here acting like a kid, talking about what don't work and what do. It clearly does work. So his thing is, if for those people who don't know, he's saying that Eichmann can perform stage interactivity, but the Mugen engine cannot pull off stage interactivity. That's what he's saying. But everybody already knows this is true. Well, a lot of people know that this is true. But let me demonstrate again, because he says that, and I think he just said it in his video. Let's hear what he said. Let's just contradict him in his own video.
Fighting game genre to your normal compilation. I just mean normal creations that follow a like-byte standards for code, sprites, sounds, and animations. Stuff you can download and put into your normal compilation. Now, if we think on how the fighting game genre evolved, it's closely tied to the golden beat-em-up era. Some games even mixed those two, like Pit Fighter. And in those times, stage elements were a crucial part of the gameplay. Street Fighter 6, by the way, seems to show the car on electric thingies. That reminded everyone of World Heroes 2. Just saying that. On a personal level, I grew up playing World Heroes 2 deathmatch mode stages, and I always wanted to see them done properly, just like any other stage in Mugen. Easy to install, universal, and modular, and this was sadly impossible. On April 2004, almost 20 years ago, one of the most knowledgeable Mugen authors of the time, Biv, published his idea on how to implement stage detection from characters via the Z offset method. He suggested the community could use this to implement stage interactions by coding stage elements into characters. He personally said, and I quote, "The basic idea is to allow the character to identify in which stage he is in, so that you can program your character according the stage. This has nothing to do with making a stage that can use objects or triggers. All the programming is done by the character, and this method is all focused on chart programming, not stage. All the stage needs to do is identify itself so that the character can do what he wants to." And here is the start of what I call fake stage interaction. I say it's fake because it's either Team Player 1 or Team Player 2's character code doing stage stuff. It's not stage code. You can fake it. Electro.
Okay. So that's your little itty bitty explanation on why it can't do something. Because your mans from 20 years ago developed a low ass piece of shit code where you got to put all of the damn accessories and all of the programming and all of the effects and everything on the character and force the character to blend it in with the stage. That's your man's. Your man Sin was doing that 20 years ago. 11-year-old Post. Okay, that's your man's. That's his method. He don't know a damn thing. He's just some dude that don't know a damn thing. That's all he is. So why is your man's failing to do something properly grounds for you to say that some shit is not possible because your homie can't do it? So since your homie can't do it, it just can't be done entirely, huh? You just want the world to believe that it can't be done because your man's couldn't do it. So since your man's failed, we just have to believe that it's not possible, right, Sebastian? It's not possible because your homie failed. He got to put all of this stage code and do all this, put all this stuff and all these characters. and do all this BS to get something to work because that's the best that he could come up with. Well, you know what? That's on you and that's on him. When it comes to programming in general, every programmer knows from video games to websites to whatever you're doing in terms of code is hundreds of ways to program the same thing. For example, if I want uh, a fireball to fly around the screen, or if I want a energy ball to follow a specific character around the screen, there's hundreds of different ways I can code that to happen. So he thought of one way that didn't work. So what about the other hundreds of different ways that it could have been done? And this here is the birth of Eichmann. So this 20 years ago that he was talking about, you got guys like Sin, his guy right here, Sin Cyanide, and your man's Electro and other guys. They all only had this one way of programming stage interactivity. And it ultimately didn't work out because it was so buggy. It halfway worked, stuff like that. So eventually, over time, people abandoned the method because it didn't work. It didn't work flawlessly. It was like it had issues and things like that. So they pretty much abandoned that and basically just deemed it as it's not working. Basically. So that's his little explanation in his video on why it's not possible and why you can't do it. Or if you do it, it's going to be buggy. It's going to be this. Let's get his words out. Let's see what Sebastian said directly live because that was a video. Because he was currently, well, not too long ago, he was in a Discord saying this stuff. Started dick riding on the bull Sin. Sin is a has been from 20 years ago who did something that everybody thought was cool 20 years ago. This is 2023, bud. Nobody hears about Sin. Nobody's talking about no Sin in 2023 right now because he ain't about nothing. Shit, if he hanging out with you, he really ain't about nothing. He hanging out with your nut ass. Dude, Sin was one of the main interactive stage creators for Mugen. You really have no idea what you're talking about. I said, when? 20 years ago? Nigga, this is 2023. He talking about, yes, 20 years ago. I said, bro, we on 1.1 now. This ain't when Mugen. Most of these niggas that's watching this stream, most of these people in this Discord wasn't even born 20 years ago. The hell they know about Sin and anything that he did? Like, come on, bro. But he did explain why it won't work in real time. Let's see what he said. Alright, hold on. Yeah, he went on to explain. Let's see what he said. $20 years ago. Here we go. Let's zoom in what this guy said. Let's zoom into his buffoonery so we can be more accurate. This is done via detection of your increasing power. Blah, you do not. Blah. I do not care about closed full games. I am only referring to open-ended loose creations. The two solutions. Oh, my mouse acting up now. That's corny. The two solutions Mugen did to fake interactive stages, fake interactives, like stuff I showed, whether using code in each character, tedious, can break certain characters, or using common files can cause bugs in certain characters, or get overridden by the characters and forces you to override your own spark set. Oh my god, so this asshole is saying that hit sparks are inside of the common files and they're not on the characters themselves, they're in the common files. Unbelievable. So he's saying if you refer to your common files, it'll damage the hit sparks. Spark set. You see that? Spark set. So he clearly don't know what, he's clearly limited in terms of knowledge in programming. He's saying using common files can cause bugs in certain characters or get overridden by the characters and forces you to override your own spark set. Unbelievable. Spark sets ain't got shit to do with common files. But see, he don't know that though. But that's why he's saying it don't work, and this is why he's saying it'll break. These are the ways that they will break. Thus, Mugen never had true stage entities. They interact with the stage like by themselves, said blah blah blah. Eichmann Go has true. My charger acting up now. Eichmann Go has true stage entity. It's literally player 9, not a part of any team. Blah 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 blah. Now you're saying other messes cause errors and overrides and stuff now? Like now you want some weird stuff now, bro. I'm saying they could under certain circumstances. What about the people that don't experience issues at all? More power to them. You can remove the safety belts from your car if you never crash. And without doing things one by one. A whole totally different way that you don't even know about. But if a character uses negative states, for instance, and your comment files use negative states on stage elements, the stage elements will not show. It's unpredictable. Considering that Mugen is very, very huge, and there's a ton of people, I prefer the safest approach. Man clearly don't even know what he's talking about. You'll have stuff happening like num helper is less than 1. Look at this code. This is your example. Num helper less than 1 ain't even needed. This don't even make sense. Imagine you code a character and assume it has no helpers. Now imagine a common file makes the character spawn a helper for the stage element that will happen to that num helper you assumed as a creator. Whoops. You get what I mean? No, I don't get what you mean, but I do understand by you explaining this that you don't have jack shit know what you're talking about. Just like the niggas that ran over to Eichmann. Y'all ran over there and they created that because they don't know what they're doing nor what they're talking about. You do not even need helpers to spawn a shit. It's hundreds of different ways you can do this. Hundreds of different ways for this to be done. And then you talk about now imagine a common file makes the character spawn a helper, which is not even a possible error. That will never even happen. That will never even happen. Common files don't make you do anything or break characters in no way. When you get errors in character code, let's go to school now. Let's go to the let's pull out the let's go into the academy real quick. and teach Sebastian something. I'm gonna teach you how to program because you're so full of that Eichmann junk. And see, this is what happened when you steal stuff. When you steal things from people and you try to dick eat out somebody else's creation and try to dick ride out somebody else's hard work and try to use that to create your own work, you run into shit like this. Where you cry about it's errorful, is this not working, that's not working. And you know what? I'm glad it don't work for y'all stealing the resources and the assets from Mugen and trying to make a whole new engine. And then talk shit about the engine that you stole the resources from because you think you happy that your shit is going well for you. You think shit going well. But let's take this man to school though. Characters, let's pick out any random character. Yeah, somebody I like. Beanie Maru, KOF 11. He was sick too. That was a real sick ass sprite design. Look at that. That's so sick. KOF 11 Beanie Maru. Wow. That's dope, man. But yeah, moving on with it. This is error. I'm gonna teach you where errors come from, Sebastian, because you were just talking about errors in the Discord. So I'm gonna show you where errors come from. So let's load Beanie up and see what's good with him. We want to show you a perfectly working Beanie, and I'm gonna show you what happens if why errors take place in the first place. Why they transpire. Why do errors in general transpire? Forget stages or whatever you're talking about. General errors. Why do they happen? So he looks good, stuff like that. Perfectly good Beanie. He's cool. Do I see a little? No, he got it. So, let's pretend that I'm Sebastian. Yo, Swagger King, who's good, Brody? What you doing up at 4 a.m., Swagger? Yeah. So let's do something. Let's pretend we Sebastian. We don't know what we doing. We trying to get stages to work, stage interactivity to work for Mugen or whatever in the Mugen engine. Or let's say we trying to get Beanie Maru to walk a little bit faster than he's walking or whatever. So we Sebastian, we type in characters or whatever. We don't know what's going on. And stuff like that. We Sebastian, right? We have no idea what we're doing. Or we have little knowledge. Oh, okay, cool. Swaggo, you just up eating, I feel you. So we Sebastian, we try and get something to work.
This battle is about to explode.
Oh, it's still starting up. So, with our little bit of knowledge, we trying to get somewhere or whatever. With our little bit of baby knowledge. But, we trying to get this character to walk a little faster. We're Sebastian. We don't know anything. So, we do this. We think that we turned up the Y velocity on his movement. And you get that. What does that say? What happened? Shit, forget what it say. What just happened? It just errored out. So let me do that again. I tried to make him move a little faster or whatever. With the velocity, I want him to walk a little faster, going left to right. X represents left to right movement. I wanted them to walk a little bit faster. It errored out. Library error message. It died parsing an invalid code. I don't know what I'm doing. So I'm sitting here trying to make them move faster and do all this and do all that. It's not working. They keep erroring out. I'm pissed off. I'm on the verge of rage quitting. And I'm about to smash the computer because it's not working. That's where errors come from. Errors come from you not knowing what you're doing. You being limited in the information that you're dealing with. That's where they come from. They don't come from what you explaining. Common files making this, that, and the third happen. You'll have stuff happen if num helper equals less than 1. You ain't even got the helper numbered and specified to be anything different. You just got random num helper less than 1. Have no idea what you're doing. Those things don't happen when you know what you're doing. But when you don't know what you're doing, yeah, it's going to error out. It's going to mess up and not work. Like you and your man's sin. Oh yeah, Swagger King. Let me tell you too while you here. Good thing you popped up, Swagger Kings. I'm talking about Sebastian and the stage interactivity. If you remember, back in your Street Fighter versus Capcom, you had got stage interactivity working in your Street Fighter versus Capcom or whatever. And if you remember that, I know you remember, it's your game, but I'm talking to Sebastian today, and I was telling him about how you did that. I'm like, yo, because I did a video on him previously trying to tell him and tell everybody else that don't know that Mugen can do it, right? But today he was like, what did he say? He said that you didn't do it. He said that it's not true. Let's see exactly what he said. But I know he basically was saying that you weren't successful with stage interactivity. But let's find out what Sebastian really said, though, about you. He basically was saying that you failed. Like, you didn't truthfully pull it off. Yeah. This guy up here is saying that 410, it is pretty late. This guy saying that that's why characters can actually override it easily. Most characters got their own common files. And that breaks common file approach because most characters will use their own common files. Thus, your interactive stage will not work. Also, the other issue with common files is that you are forcing people to discard any spark pack they want to use and use your own. That's why you go against the idea of Malduteri and universally in Mugen, which none of that is true. It's a load of BS. I said, did you not see Swagger doing stage interactivity perfectly in a video I showed you? Doing it in a closed full game like environment, sure, wow. So now he admitting that it works. First he made a video saying that Eichmann can do it and Mugen can't. Now we got Sebastian right here in the video. Let's zero in on this fool. We got Sebastian right here in the video, in the Discord, saying that I said, yo, don't you see Swagger doing it perfectly in the video? He said doing it in a closed full game like environment, sure. It was perfectly working in his full game. He said via fake interactions, sure. And I said, I got to screenshot this. And that's why I said that. Because first he said it don't work. Now he's saying it do work now. But I screenshotted it with my phone just in case he tried to delete what he said, which I know he will. Because this is buffoonery, it's baloney. He won't have to delete it to try to make himself uh, seem right. But yeah, Swagger, my video starts about talking about loose creations, characters, and stages out of closed full games. So no, Swagger, he's saying that you were able to achieve Mugen stage interactivity because you made a full game. So that's what he says, Swagger. Here it is right here. I said, don't you see Swagger doing it perfectly in his Street Fighter vs. Capcom? He said doing it in a closed full game like environment, sure. But his whole point was it's not possible. It's fake. You can't do it. Now he's saying you can do it in a full game environment. Now he's basing it off. Now he's saying it situationally works. First, it only works if you put everything on the characters and the stages. Now it will work perfectly if it's a full game. Because I said, did you not see Swagger doing it perfectly? Not with all his errors and common files messing up and overriding and all this error shit that you're talking about. I said, do you not see Swagger doing it perfectly? He said, and doing it in a full game environment, sure. But the whole point of the matter is, Sebastian, can it be done or not? This is the whole point. The point is, can it be done or not? What's up, Tengu? The point is, can it be done or not, Sebastian? I don't care who did it, how they did it, why they did it. The only point was, can it be done or can it not be done? That's it. Not no anything else. Can it be done or can it not be done? That's what it's about. Now you saying it can be done situationally in a full game environment. But that's what I wanted to show you, Swagger. Him talking about he's saying that you did achieve it, but you only achieved it because you're running a full game. Since you're making a full game, that's why you can do it, because you're making a full game. That's why you got yours working perfectly with no common file errors, no most characters use their own common files and your stage interactivity will not work overall. Also with the common files, you're forcing people to discard sparks, basically saying that his sparks ain't gonna work properly if you try to do stage interactivity and all of this stuff. He's saying that since you're making a full game, uh, since you're making a full game, that's why yours is working smoothly and perfectly with absolutely no problems. No problems at all. No errors, no BS, no games. No character one by one nonsense, 20-year-old methods where you got to put every single last piece of thing on each character individually. Like he explained, let Sebastian explain for us again how it works. For him and his homies that he's been hanging out with for the last 20 years, bragging that he known them for 20 years. Let him explain to us how they get it down, how they get it popping.
And Sin users two's character code doing stage stuff. It's not stage code. You can fake it. Electro and it's either Team Player 1 or Team Player 2's character code.
Yeah,
fake stage interaction. I say it's fake because it's either Team Player 1 or Team Player 2's character code doing stage stuff.
He said it's either Player 1 or Player 2 character code doing stage stuff.
It's not stage code.
Not stage
you
code.
You can fake it. Electro and Sin used similar philosophy. Character. I say it's fake because
he gotta explain.
Not stage. All the stage needs to do is identify itself so that the character can do what he wants to. All the programming is done by the stage that you can use objects or this has nothing to do with making a stage that you can use objects or triggers. All the programming is done by the character. Making a stage that you can use objects or your character according the stage. Stage elements into from characters via the Z offset method. He suggested the community could use this to implement stage interactions by
okay, so he going into how his mans from 20 years ago got stage interactivity working. Let's see how he was doing it 20 years ago.
By coding stage elements into characters. He personally said, and I quote, "The basic idea is to allow the character to identify in which stage he is in, so that you can program your character according the stage. This has nothing to do with making a stage that you can use objects or..."
Well, unfortunately, Sebastian, that was 20 years ago. You do not have to fully program a damn character to fit one stage. Like, no, bro. That's not how the method was done. Sorry. That was 20 years ago. Like I said, it's 2023. Don't nobody know Sin today. Who is Sin? Nobody know this man today. When the last time he released something? When the last time he done anything? What contributions that he made that helped anybody out today, programming wise? Zip, zero, zilch, none, nothing. You wanna know why? Because it was 20 years ago. That's why. It was wind moving shit. You know how many updates and breakthroughs that have been achieved in the last 20 years, 20 plus years? Brody? But yes, like I see, thanks for vouching that Mugen can do interacting stages. Thanks for vouching for that. But then, as we were discussing whatever we was discussing, somebody man's popped out. Ninety Maru Kusanagi pops out and says stuff like this is custom code meant to imitate stage interactivity in stages. Eichmann can do that proper. Eichmann can do proper interactivity with less work compared to Mugen. Then he said less work as if he knows uh, every possible method that you can take to get it done, and all of the methods that he know that's possible are all tedious. Like all the methods, they're all tedious. All the possible methods are all tedious. There's no way that there is a simple method that you can use. And when you he commented on this, he commented on this. Link that your man Sebastian dropped, and your man Sebastian dropped a link of one of his homies from 11 years ago, probably longer than that, attempting to use a Z offset method, which is a Win Mugen. Like I was saying earlier, this ain't Win Mugen. A Win Mugen method that's 20 years old. And it's not even them. It's not even these dudes' skill that they're using, even with this. It's not even their skill. Z offset was a hard code feature that was featured in Win Mugen that's no longer available in the updated engine. They were messing around with Z offset, the positioning in the Z offsets or whatever. So that's hard code that ElectByte left for y'all to piggyback off of. That's no longer available, and y'all still couldn't do it even with that. But yeah, this 20-year-old post of dudes struggling trying to get stage interactivity. That's what uh, this random guy just commented on. And then Sebastian, they start giving each other head here. You don't even know this man. Just start giving each other head out of nowhere in the middle of two men discussing something. Exactly what I mean. Ike here is the only guy who either doesn't understand or feels like he has to defend Mugen. When we got, oh yeah, peace out, Swagger Kings. I'll catch you tomorrow, bro. How long have I been streaming? I don't want this to be too long. But yeah, though. He goes in and says, exactly, Ike here is the only one who doesn't understand. I don't see why you need to defend Mugen. We got dudes right here telling you it works perfectly in the chat. He comes back and returns a favor and gives him head back, talking about some Ike is Ike. He is a being no one understands. Well, thanks for this, though. I can go to bed knowing that it was not my fault, my faulty explanation. I felt like I was taking crazy pills. Don't worry about it. Ike is extremely powerful when it comes to giving people psychosis. Oh, I'm extremely powerful when it comes to giving people psychosis. You don't know me, bro. You giving me psychosis with this goddamn comment you made, and just randomly giving other men head that's chatting in the Discord that you don't even know from a can of paint. Just giving another nigga head, trying to piggyback off somebody else's discussion when you have absolutely no input or no knowledge to the topic at hand. This is why you just started giving him head out of nowhere, because you thought that he was right on something that you know absolutely know nothing about. Stuff like this is custom code meant to imitate stage interactivity in stages. Eichmann can do proper stage interactivity with less work compared to Mugen. How would you know that? How do you know this for sure? Are you a programmer? Any programming? Do you have any programming knowledge in general to be able to vouch for this or back this up? What school have you went to? What books have you studied to know that this is true for sure? How do you know this for sure? Because Sebastian posted this? Let's go to the post. What he posted was a nigga trying to get stage interactivity, trying to achieve stage interactivity. That's what he posted. He posted random dudes trying to achieve stage interactivity in their own way. That's what this post is. So you just gave this man head for no reason. What he doesn't understand, and what I already know you don't know, is it's hundreds of ways to code the same thing. Hundreds of ways. There's hundreds of ways of coding the same exact thing. So if I want a character to high jump, it's hundreds of ways that I can make a character high jump. Like a Marvel 2 high jump or X-Men vs. Street Fighter high jump. It's hundreds of different ways for me to do that, coding wise. So this method never worked. It was always faulty. It was always buggy. This is one of hundreds of ways they could have done this. One of hundreds of different ways that they could have done this. But they don't know this. Because like I said, what books have they read? What schools have they went to? What documents have they studied to learn any of this? Obviously nothing if you only know one of 500 ways. One of 500 plus ways to get something, to achieve something. And then you got your man Sebastian admitting that Sen and them didn't know what they was doing. They did the best that they could. Let's pull that up. let's go into him talking about his failure buddy Sin. His failure buddy Sin basically represents and speaks for every other programmer out there that exists. Since Sin and them couldn't do it, they failed. Everybody else that come behind them will fail. This is organized speech, simple. Nobody care about your video. I watched it, and like I said, you have yet to show any physical proof of this shit not working. Physical proof is going into the engine and showing us that it don't work. Not posting a nigga trying to attempt to do something that didn't work. You yourself do it and show us that it don't work. Mugen cannot do proper stage interactivity. Sin and Electro's work. Your claims are mistaken. I've explained and listed why in that video. Backing myself on VIB, Sin, and Electro's work. Watch that. And you said something else about Sin and them. Why do I say, why? I said, in my video, Sin agrees with me. I show his post saying that. Nobody cares about you and your man's Sin. Giving these niggas head for no reason. They're unsuccessful in what they're doing. What are you giving them head for? He's not successful with shit. Are you even listening to the arguments I gave? Yes. You talking about your failure buddy Sin. Dude. I said, I don't know why you brought Sin up, dude. What evidence do you have to support such a claim? Sin is an average programmer. From what I see, he hasn't done anything that stands out from anybody else. I don't know why you brought Sin up. I'm asking you for physical evidence. Show me that the engine can't do it directly with your own hands. Not Sin's hands, nigga. Yours. You stupid or something? Dude, Sin was one of the main interactive stage creators for Mugen. You really have no idea what you're talking about. I said when? 20 years ago? Yes, 20 years ago. He actually agreed with me. That's how stupid he is. I said when? 20 years ago? You actually agreed with me. And that proves my point. He was a 20-year-old failure. His efforts are 20 years in the past. And that's a shame. 20 years went by. He still ain't found a valid solution yet. 20 years later, he still ain't got a valid solution on how shit working right now. 20 years later. 22 plus years later. And you literally haven't learned anything. Obviously, Sin ain't learned shit in the last 20 years because it still ain't working today. Not by him. It's working, but he's not as a result of it working. 20 years later. You see that? Due to my Sin tried and failed. Sin coded an auto patcher and most of his stuff is offline. You can find his proofs. It failed. It does not work. Unless you show me Sin got something working 100% perfectly, I don't want to hear his name. I don't want to know about him if he's not doing anything productive. And you got him this random dude that I don't know. Ike is one of a kind. Legend, you'll see. Yeah, and I want you to watch this video. Well, I hope you're watching this live. And so you can see how you just giving this man head for no reason. And while you watching the live, check out the comments in the live. Where I contacted Swagger and said, Swagger, they said that your stage interactivities don't work in Mugen. This is what these guys are saying right now. And I'm a legend. I call psychosis. I don't know what I'm talking about. But right here in my own comment section, let me screenshot this right now. In my own comment section, you have a man that popped in and said Mugen can do interactive stages. And I piggybacked off of that and said, yeah, of course it can, effortlessly. It requires zero effort to get, not zero effort, but very minimal effort to get it working. It's nothing special at all. The whole time they were struggling for 20 years to do something that takes 5 seconds. It takes about 5 seconds to get that shit working. 5 seconds. Let's go into the demonstration, then I'm gonna get out of here. Stuff this guy talking about take 5 measly seconds to do. He's spending 2 hours arguing how it's not possible. It only takes 5 seconds to do it. But you so incompetent that you'll never get it done. You too incompetent. And that's why they hacked into. That's why they took stole all of the damn resources out of Mugen, and thus you have the birth of Eichmann. Because other failures like Jesus Zilla, if y'all ever heard of that name, Kamikaze, Walrus Louis, niggas like that failed. So they put their heads together, took all the damn resources out of Mugen and made Eichmann. And now they're somewhat successful in doing the little bit of nothing that they're doing. And all of the little bit of nothing that they were doing in the first place was the whole time possible in the engine. Because they don't understand that it's not about the engine that you're using. At the end of the day, you are programming an engine to emulate things that you want the engine to emulate. That's what you're doing. You are programming things. You are, not the engine. So therefore, you can't say the engine can't do this. It's limited. It's beyond the engine's capabilities. You can't say stupid stuff like that if it's on you. It's beyond your capabilities. You can't do it. You are not competent enough to do it right now. You're not at that level. So you should be a man, swallow that shit and go learn. Go study. Stupid. Instead of dismissing something. But that's your birth of Eichmann right there. But as you can see, on my geese, once again, that I already had to show before. My geese is chilling. This is just basic water splash effects. And I started this because I started seeing this trending in the community. And I was like, I think this will be cool. I want to put it on my characters. And that's what I did. All I did was simply create quote unquote stage interactivity for my own characters. That's all this is that you see. This literally took me 5 minutes. Or probably less. It probably took less than that. Sebastian is saying, this what you're seeing right now. He's saying this not possible. Or if it is possible, he said you got to code it onto the stage. You got to code it onto the character. It's going to break the common files. It's going to do all of this. It's going to do all of that. As you can see, my stuff is working fine with no issues. And I didn't even go deep into it. Because I wasn't too hype about it. It's just water splash. Once I saw that I can do it, I got turned off of it because I was too busy doing other things. And I wasn't that amused by it. It was just something that I wanted to challenge myself with and also get some enjoyment out of it because at the time I wasn't thinking about that. So to me, at the time, it was just a good idea. And that's why I did this. That's why you see this water splash effects, these stage effects on geese like this. and you see this is the Osaka Tower, the water splash because of the rain. So if we switch stages, it won't be there. Let's go to any stage, it don't matter. You see, there is no water splash or anything now. So it's a stage effect. It's playing according to the stage that he was on. 5-minute programming. Not even that. About 120 seconds. 2-minute programming that it took to achieve that. And that was like 6 years ago, 6-7 years ago that I did that. Around the time when I first started messing with this, almost. Around the time when I first was learning how to program, I did that easy. And to go a step further with it, before I pull out, to go a step further with it though, stage interactivity is really nothing. Like I said, it's nothing extraordinary at all. They didn't understand that because they don't understand how programming works. That's why they really failed. They failed overall because they didn't understand it. This stuff is really nothing. Like, all stage interactivity is the character interacting with an object on the stage. That's all it is. Like, if you just saw where I hit him, it said first attack when I hit him. Or this, I hit him with a 4-hit combo. You see it said good. You see how it's saying that and all of that? That is the same way that stage interactivity works. It's the same exact thing. They didn't know that. But they're going to learn today. And y'all can go ahead and take this information that I'm giving you, and hopefully you can actually achieve stage interactivity. And go ahead and don't even give me credit because I don't want it. Go ahead and say you revolutionized and did it on your own. I'll give you this for free. So the same way it's saying you see those versus messages on the screen, the same way I'm spawning those versus messages, I can spawn literally anything that I want at any time. I can spawn anything I want. Good. Very good. You see that? Those are basically stage effects. I just chose to put versus messages in the place of it. But it's stage effects because I can literally make that do whatever I wanted to do. Like you see how I was saying good? Like I can make that do whatever I wanted to do. I can make it shake. I could make the when that pops up, I can make the screen turn red. I can make it turn blue. I can make it flash. Like every time a versus messages come on the screen, I can make it flash or make a specific color, background color play on the screen. It's not just, I'm just using it right now as combo messages because that's what I wanted. I wanted combo messages on my characters because I thought that was a cool feature as well. 8 years ago, around the time where I first started getting into this, I thought it was cool. I saw people doing it, and I said I want to do that for myself. So I found a way to program it, and I did. Simple, but I've learned through the 10-year knowledge that I have of programming. I learned that all of that's all the same thing. At the end of the day, it's just image manipulation. That's all it is. That's all. Anything that you ever see is that's in terms of graphics. All it is manipulating numbers and images. That's all it is. So you can do whatever you want to do once you understand that concept. That might have went over a lot of people's heads, but it will make more sense when you grow in knowledge. It'll make more sense. But what I'm going to do right now is prove what I just said. So as you can see, the combo messages. What I'm going to do with these combo messages is when the combo messages play, I'm going to try to make a color, try to make it flash or at least play like a colorful background. That's what I'm going to do real quick. That's also going to take 5 seconds. That's what sending them probably, they still don't understand that 20 years later. They still don't understand that concept. The same way you call them versus messages onto the screen, you can literally call anything that's considered an effect on the screen. That simple. And you can make it do whatever you want it to do. You can make it serve as a prop. Like you got you got stages electrocuting people and all of that. I can make those versus messages electrocute me if I wanted to. I can make that actually hit somebody. Like when they come on the screen. Like when they come on the screen like that, I could actually make it come on the screen and hit you. It's simple, but yeah, let's get into that. So when the versus message come on the screen, is also going to be palette effects. So like a little color or whatever. Choose a random color, background palette effect. And we're going to do this when it says good. And I'm going to do it individually for good too, just to show you how much control you have over this stuff. It's all in how far you can go mentally. It ain't got shit to do with the engine. Because at the end of the day, all this shit is numbers. That's all it is. It's numbers. 0 to 9. The only numbers that are different is the numbers 0 to 9. And anything past 9 is the same exact number. Once you understand that concept, you'll be able to do far greater things than whatever you're doing right now. But let's call it off good. Good notification. Okay, so what I'm going to do is just give good that effect of good, the combo message. Let's just give that an ID number. So the system knows that if it ever says good, then to do that. That's it. So the screen probably, I guess the default color is white. So let's see. Actually, no, the default color is not white. I'm going to just do a random color. I don't know what color it's going to be, but we'll see. I might have to restart the program for this though. The only numbers different is from 0 to 9. 10, 11, 12, 112, 10,000. It's all the same number. Nothing different. Same numbers behind each other. That's all it is. Same numbers all in a line. To make a quote unquote different number is the same thing. Over and over and over, and it's just a pattern.